Welcome back to the channel. This is John with Flip It Ain't Easy, and you're live. I'm not. I'm making this recording, and I'm launching it as what they call a premiere on YouTube, so that you guys can chat and hang out while you're watching the content. Now, no Jenna. She's getting ready. This is Thursday evening. We're gonna go out. I have my bowling league, and so you guys are watching this while I'm in Arizona. It's all confusing, but nonetheless, you're here. And I want to talk today about something I wanted to talk about before, but I thought, you know what, might as well make a video here. Maybe we'll be here for about 30, 45 minutes-ish, but I wanted to talk about priority listings. It's kind of one of my favorite subjects to talk about historically, but I haven't really said a whole lot about it lately. And today I want to talk about the change that I've been meaning to talk to you about, which is the change from eBay promoted listings priority, which used to be advanced. So I want to talk to you about that. Now, here's where it is. It's this little article that I want to kind of go over with you so that we can have an understanding of exactly what this is. Now, according to eBay, accelerate your sales and reach highly motivated buyers with the advanced targeting and price control over your ad spend when you promote your listing using the priority strategy. They go on to say eBay offers promoted listings campaign strategies for every type of seller, blah, blah, blah. In this case, I think this is one for larger sellers. I wouldn't be messing with it if I was a smaller seller, except that I'll tell you here in a minute why I'm doing it. The priority strategy helps your listings reach highly motivated buyers with priority access to ad placements and advanced targeting. With precise control over your ad spend, you can effectively target your ads while paying only for clicks. So you're paying for click here. It's even if the item doesn't sell, you're paying every time your buyer clicks into your listing. Now, for each campaign using the priority strategy you run, you'll be charged for the clicks on your ads up to the amount determined by your campaign's target daily budget. The target daily budget is the average daily amount you'd like your campaign to spend throughout a week. Now, remember that it's the average, and I don't have any feedback for you, eBay, sorry. It's the average daily amount. It's not a cap. And that's kind of where I kind of screwed up, thinking that it was going to be a cap. And before, like with offsite ad spend, eBay offsite ads, there was a cap, right? I don't know why this can't be a cap, but this is an average that you'll spend throughout a week. The amount you pay per week won't exceed 7 times your targeted daily budget. So you see that the amount you pay per week won't exceed 7 times your targeted daily budget. So I think that's what it's saying is if I have $5 set per day, then it won't exceed 35. So I hope that's the case. Hopefully it's not saying that, it's not going to exceed 5 times 7 for one day, 35, because that would be a disaster. But I think what it's saying is, look, if we spend $9 today, $9 tomorrow, we're probably not going to spend a whole lot the rest of the week because we don't want you to go over 35 bucks. So that makes sense. Changes made to your targeted daily budget midweek can impact your campaign's maximum weekly spend. Once 7 times your daily budget has been reached within a given week, your campaign will stop showing ads until the daily budget period resets on the following Sunday. Above standard or top-rated sellers with enough account activity can promote fixed price listings for most categories using this method. The following are not eligible for these priority campaigns. Auction listings, of course, you couldn't do that before. Auctions have their own. It's called Express, and that's a fixed price you pay up front, and eBay then will give your auction more exposure. That's not what this is. The other thing that this is not is listings in wholesale, job lots, cars, motorcycles, vehicles, event tickets, property, e-cigarettes, vapes, accessories, or anything else categories. And then, of course, listings that are out of stock. So if you have a lot of items that are out of stock, you use that option where you have your out of stock items showing, but there's zero inventory. Those aren't counted. So those aren't seen by a buyer when you're out of stock anyway. Using the priority campaign strategy, You can promote your listings with the priority strategy from the advertising dashboard, active listings, and through the advanced listing tool. And here's how you can get started. So to promote your listings with the priority strategy from the advertising dashboard, and it'll tell you how to do that. I'm not going to waste your time in that, but there's a method. You want to go into your advertising dashboard, and the way you find that is, I'll show you. You go to advertising. So you're basically under your selling right here. And then you go to advertising, and there's your dashboard. The drop down will give you your dashboard right there. So that's how you do it. We're not going to go into how you make one. If you are a big enough seller, I'm sure you can figure this thing out. I would very, very much hesitate to do it if you're a smaller seller. To promote your listings with the priority strategy using the advanced listing tool, then it goes into how you can do it. If you wanted to do that, when you're in the listing details page on the promoted listings section of your listing, you can enable the toggle to enable that campaign if you want. To promote your listings with the priority strategy from the Seller Hub, there's a drop down. If you want to go into your listings, your active listings, you can go and edit and promote it and all that stuff if you want to as well. Now, according to eBay, the priority campaign strategy, targeting strategy, is a method used to determine how your ads will reach potential buyers. When promoting your listings with the priority campaign strategy, you'll choose from one of two targeting strategies. You can either use the smart strategy or the manual one. Right now, the one I'm doing is the smart strategy. It's kind of how it introduced itself to me. And I didn't even realize at the time that it was not, I thought it was something different than advanced. And it turned out this is what replaces promoted listings advanced. So smart targeting enables easy setup when you promote listings with the priority strategy. You'll determine how much you pay each day and will automatically target your ads. Your campaign will automatically update over time to optimize your ads. And then again, it tells you how to do it. Go to the advertising tab, blah, blah, blah. Maximum cost per click. When you set up a priority campaign with smart targeting, you can edit your campaign's maximum cost per click. This setting determines the highest amount you're willing to pay each click on an ad. So if I have $5 set as my daily, right? You can, and I don't know what the minimum is. I thought they brought the minimum up. So you guys talk about it yourselves in the chat. But let's say I set 50 cents as my targeted, my minimum cost per click or maximum cost per click. Now, I don't know. It could be that I have 50 cents. And so a buyer is willing to click on my my item based on keywords. We're going to get to it here in a minute, but I'm bidding against my competitor who's also using this, is what I'm gathering. And I guess we're kind of finding this out amongst ourselves here as I go through this. But you could pay up to 50% in this scenario if that's what you've set. And if maybe someone else has a higher maximum CPC, they're going to get the placement over you. Now, that's not to say you're not going to get placement. You should get placement, but your competition that's using a higher maximum cost per click is going to get better placement than you are. Now, the maximum cost per click you choose is essentially your bid in an auction that determines ad placement. Leaving the maximum cost per click blank or setting a higher maximum cost per click increases the likelihood that your ad will win the auction and appear in a prominent position. This means that your listing is more likely to be shown and clicked on by potential buyers. Conversely, a lower maximum cost per click might have you might save you money per click, but you could result in your ad being shown less frequently, potentially leading to fewer overall sales. It's the way to get you to spend more. Manual targeting is the other option. And that gives you a little bit more control with keyword targeting and bids. So you can determine how much each click of one of your ads is worth to you. You select how to manage ongoing optimizations and to help keep your campaigns remaining active. Now, what I've noticed between the advanced and the manual is the advanced, and it's really simple. You just set an amount. AI kind of manages it behind the scenes for you. Whereas manual, well, that one is one where you can get in there and add the keywords. And I kind of wish that I went that route, because I'm really using this to target certain listings, and I'll show it to you here in a little bit. But if you're not trying to target certain listings, I think if you're just doing it overall for your whole store, it's probably best to let AI manage it. But if you're targeting certain listings, then I'm focusing on keywords specific to those listings that someone would use in their search. And now the whole bid process behind the scenes, this is, instead of AI determining where your listing is ranked based on your promoted rate, your account health, all that stuff, it's adding another component to where your item is being placed based on what you're willing to bid. And then ad groups will help you build more effective manual targeting campaigns by organizing your listing and keywords into a common goal or strategy. Grouping together similar listings allow you to target them with the same set of keywords. And campaigns can have up to 500 ad groups and up to 1,000 listings per each ad group. And then you can get in there, and it gives examples. So you have a Father's Day campaign. You target $500 daily budget. Ain't no one here doing that. Okay, I promise you. If you're doing that, you shouldn't be watching this channel, because you are well more advanced than what I can help you with. Ad group best selling men's sneakers. That's the ad group in this example. So they have high top sneakers and running shoes. And then they're using keywords such as men's athletic shoes, high tops, best running shoes, popular men's sneakers. The ad group is last season's men's athletic wear. And then in this particular ad group, joggers, sweatshirts, shirts, and then they're using these keywords. And then, of course, this is, you can go ahead and set keywords. So you want to make them relevant to your specific listing that is involved in this campaign. And you can do broad, and you can do phrases, you can do exact match, you can even do negative keywords, meaning like you have Adidas and you don't want to pay for anyone using Nike. So if they use Nike, like you could put that in a negative keyword. So if they use Nike, but the other words match your listings, then it'll boot it out because Nike's in there. Bidding strategy. A campaign bidding strategy is the option you can select to determine how your keyword bids are managed throughout the duration of your campaign. There are two campaign bidding strategies you can choose from: fixed or dynamic. Now, a dynamic bidding strategy will automatically update keyword bids daily to the suggested bid. Here's that suggested thing again. With this strategy, sellers do not need to make daily manual updates to keep their keyword bids competitive in the marketplace. So it's kind of a lazy way to do it without managing it so much, allowing eBay to manage it based on what they suggest. But we've seen suggested rates in promoted listing standard, and you can see what that does. It makes you overpay for that service. So I guess if you have a lot of listings and you don't have time to manage them all, then you might want to use dynamic. But suggested bids are calculated using factors that may include item attributes, seasonality, available performance data, keyword match types, competition, and what we feel we need to make for our shareholders. Oh, that's not part of that. I'm sorry. But you know where I'm coming from. Along with market dynamics to help you find the optimal balance between performance and cost for each individual ad group. Now, on the flip side, a fixed bidding strategy will not change once it's been set. You can review your performance and update, blah, blah, blah. That's kind of like saying I'm going to do a 5%, right? Or I'm going to do, in this case, my bidding is a set amount. Now, priority ad fees are based on your bid, the level of competition for queries in your ad appears, and the clicks your ads have received. For each campaign, the amount you pay per week won't exceed 7 times your targeted daily budget. That's ultimately what it's saying is 7 times the daily budget you set. Let's just say $5 is $35. So eBay won't exceed $35. Now, if you have $10 set, then they won't exceed 70 for the week. If that makes sense. So priority ad fees work. The amount you will be charged for each click is based on the second price auction. So you know how auctions work, right? So you have an item for 99 cents that you set as auction. Well, that item will never sell for anything more than what the second bidder is willing to pay. So your hope is that when you have an auction, you have multiple people bidding on your item, driving up the price, right? But the second to highest bidder is what that thing is going to sell for. And it works the same way with these ads. So it's the second best price that based on the bid. So you have 5 other sellers that are bidding on these keywords, and AI is managing this if you're using the first option. And you're going to pay whatever that second highest total maximum cost per click bid is, if that makes sense. All priority ad fees are charged at a listing level. Charges are determined by the sum of all costs per clicks a single listing receives within a day. When you promote your listings with the priority strategy, there are 2 ways to bid: manual targeting and smart targeting. With manual targeting, you select the keyword bid. Smart targeting, you let AI handle, like we talked about. Because the listings, keywords, and bids in each second price auction are unique, each cost per click calculation is dynamic, because it's no longer like you set a maximum cost per click, but eBay is pitting the sellers against each other to raise that cost per click, and the second to the highest bid is what that's going to go for. Pretty complicated behind the scenes, but just know it's going to cost you. Sales of promoted and non-promoted items will be attributed within a 30-day window of a click on your ad. So if you remove that from your ad, someone can come back in and you can possibly pay based on that. While it is possible to be charged for multiple legitimate clicks from the same buyer, we have checks in place to filter out invalid clicks. If clicks on an ad are identified as invalid, you will not be charged. Note that you will be charged if you click on your own priority ad. That sucks. So you set this up, and let's say you're doing a search for your own ad and you click on your ad, they're going to charge you. It's going to come out of your budget. That's horrible. If there's a way to check that a buyer isn't clicking multiple times into your listing, there's got to be a way to say, this is not a buyer. This is the same person. This is the seller. They shouldn't be charged that. Now, viewing your fees. Fees for your promoted listings campaigns using the priority campaign strategy will appear as promoted listings priority fees in your payments tab on your seller invoice. We combine all clicks a seller receives on a priority ad in a given campaign on a daily basis, and sellers are generally charged for these clicks up to 72 hours after the clicks take place. Your charges are reported at a listing level. From your payments tab or invoice, you'll see the campaign ID, click date, total number of clicks, and average cost per listing. The targeted daily budget is the average daily amount you like your campaign to spend throughout the week. The amount you pay per week won't exceed 7 times. We talked about that. On any given day, you could spend less than your targeted daily budget or up to double the highest targeted daily budget in effect on that day. So for me, I could pay up to $10, but later in the week, they'll kind of throttle that so that I'm not spending as much. Once your campaign has met your targeted daily budget multiplied by the days remaining in the week at the time that the budget went into effect, your campaign will stop showing ads until the targeted daily budget window resets on Sunday. Listings in a campaign will be eligible to begin surfacing again if you increase your targeted daily budget out of an out-of-budget campaign. So you can always up your budget, right? But you won't be, if they run out of budget for you for the week, it's going to shut this whole thing off for you. Now, how changes to your targeted daily budget affect your campaign's total weekly spend? On days when you change the target daily budget, the daily spending limit is double the most recent targeted daily budget for that day, unless you've already spent equal to or more than that amount. If you decrease your daily budget and your total ad spend for that day is below your new budget may start to be used on that day. However, if your daily campaign spends exceeds your new budget will come into effect on the following day. For example, if you decrease your targeted daily budget from $50 to $30 at noon, but your campaign has already spent $80 that day, then you'll be charged $80 for that day, and your ads will stop until the targeted daily budget resets the following day. There's a $1 minimum and a $1,000 maximum daily budget. Now, that's a huge store. I don't see how anyone would do that. Now, we're not going to go into the examples. I think you guys got that. You can monitor your campaigns by going to the advertising and campaign dashboards. We're going to kind of do that here. campaign recommendations. You can download reports and some FAQs. Priority campaign strategy FAQs. How's it determined when and where my ads will show? Your bid amount is a factor in determining how frequently your listing appears in placements across eBay. The more competitive the bid, the more likely your listing appears in an eligible ad slot. Priority campaigns offer two ways to bid, manual and smart. We talked about that. The cost for each click is based on the second price auction, which means the fee is charged determined by factors like listing quality, keyword relevance, your bid amount, competition from other sellers, and a reserve price. The reserve price is the minimum amount we've determined a click is worth, taking item quality, competition, seasonality, marketplace thresholds into consideration. It goes into how do I add listings. I mean, once you're in a campaign, it's pretty self-explanatory. Goes into a lot of fluffy questions. I won't go into that. Top takeaway: the priority campaign strategy uses a cost per click model, which means that you pay per click on your ads. Now, anybody's head hurt yet? It's a lot of stuff to digest, and I just would say to go in if you still want to look at it on your own. Of course, you can go back and watch this video and go through it again with me if you want, or do your own research on eBay under help and contact. Maybe put in priority eBay priority promoted listings, and that should give you the same information that we just went over. So real quick, guys, you're watching, you're still hanging out with me in the chat or maybe after the fact, do me a favor, hit the like button, guys. And we still, even though it's Friday, it's not really a live, but it's kind of a quasi, live. You guys are live with us, even though I'm not. Hit the like button, get your sale within the next 24 hours. That's kind of what we do. We kind of push out the positive karma to you guys. And, it's kind of a way for you to support the channel by hitting the like button. It tells others that, we put out a halfway decent channel and we have a pretty good community. The fact that you guys are here, proves that. Real quick, before I go into this some more, sales are kind of blah for me, and that's okay. We had a 0 sales day on Wednesday for the second store, which is sort of breaks a streak of about 2 to 3 months. We've actually had a pretty strong run. I don't know. I think Thursday, or actually Wednesday, I didn't list a thing in that store, and that kind of goes against what I like to do, but I just didn't have really a chance to get to that store. And there you go, no sales. My main store, I attribute that to really, I'm scrambling right now to get some really good product. The quality of product that I'm seeing in that store has kind of fallen off over the last 30 days. I'll just admit, when you go to your storage unit and you're looking for things to sell, what you gravitate towards is the good stuff. And then I'll get to that later is kind of where you end up once you sell the good stuff, and it ain't so hot of merchandise. And it's decent, don't get me wrong, but I'd say what's left is we're talking $40, $50, $60 items as compared to like $70, $80, $90, $100 items. I did list the Xerox printer that was in pretty solid condition. I don't know why it was returned. I only had 6 pages printed on it. Everything prints out good and everything tested well. And hopefully it's actually like a $699 printer retail. They bought it brand new. I have it for $329 in open box / used condition. 6 prints on that thing. Really can't call it used. I mean, I think 5 of the 6 prints were me testing it. So we're just going to go with it. I think I have it as used, and I have it as open box or actually customer return unit nonetheless. So let's get on to my store. And this is the secondary store. Now, again, to get here, you go under selling, click on selling. This is on the PC, by the way. And then we go into advertising, and you can go to dashboard. we'll kind of show you the performance of the campaigns. Let me make this a little smaller so that you guys can follow it easy. So now these are all the campaigns, and the only one that I really have active is this Priority Smart campaign here. And I'm going to click on it. I'm going to go into that. Let's go into that campaign so we can see where we're at. Now, this is telling me I have a $5 daily budget, which is the minimum, by the way, that you can set. The campaign duration, I have it set until the end of December. Now, why am I even messing with this? I think I told you guys that I would not be using this. I would recommend using this unless you have a larger store. Well, this store has like a little less than 300 items. It's certainly not under the definition of larger store. I'm thinking in the thousands if you're going to be using this priority campaign business. Or if you have a smaller store with a lot of items within each listing, like on a multi-quantity listing. But the reason why I'm doing it is because eBay told me that they would cover 75% of the costs up to $200 if I did this. And so I figured $5 a day would go pretty much through the end of the year from when I started it, and they would end up covering the full brunt of the $200. So I'm maximizing what they say they'll cover, which means I'll end up spending about $150 when it's all said and done, at least unless they don't give me my credit like they promised. But here's what it looks like. And I'm going to tell you right now, I don't think it's worth it. It wants me to do a maximum cost per click, higher max cost per click. Based on similar campaigns, consider a cost per click greater than 96 cents. You see here, it's at 50 cents. Now, I was going to change it from smart to manual because I wanted to do some keywords, but once you set a campaign, it won't let you go in and change it. You got to end the campaign if you want to switch it over to the other kind. So I'm just going to stick with AI on this. Now, metrics are reported in near real time, allow 72 hours, blah, blah, blah. We're looking at this one here. The turquoise is my ad fee. So each day I'm paying $8.25, $9.05, $3.95, $6.73, $9.26, $3.67. So it's jumping up and down to try to keep me within the $5 a day, right? And my sales, as you see here, I don't have any sales from this campaign the last 30 days. And guess what? I've paid $170.92 in ad fees. Now, you might wonder, well, why don't you have any sales? I mean, you got a lot of clicks. See, I got like the first day I spent $8.25 for 15 clicks. Then I spent $9.05 for what? 5 clicks. $6.73 for 8 clicks, $9.26 for 14 clicks. Doesn't seem quite worth it to me, even if eBay's spending 75% of that out of their pocket. To say that it cost me $35 to $40 to get 330 clicks with no sales, I don't like that at all. Now, I have only 3 listings on this because I have my parts listings. So like, for instance, and I want to make this smaller so I can see some more stuff for you here. Okay, here we go. Oops, bear with me. Okay, there we go. So this, I have my fans. I have 8 items in that listing, 1,600 impressions, 35 clicks, and guess what? No sales. Quantity sold. All these items, no quantity sold. Hasn't helped me a bit. My Breville, which has a lot of impressions. Look, 58 items in this listing, 58 individual parts, 67 clicks. Got good click-through, but no bueno. This Ninja Lux, this is a relatively new machine. 17 items in that listing. 7,800 impressions, which is quite a bit. 93 clicks, and not a darn thing, right? So, yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. I'm not very happy about it. I'm going to add that to it, by the way. You could add listings if you want to click on that, which I'm not. I'll just keep it like that. I don't know why it backed me out all the way. So ultimately, for what I'm trying to use this for, to try to push my multi-quantity variation listings, this ain't working for me, guys. It ain't working for me. And I mean, I could set this for my entire store, but I'm just going to dilute my budget. And I wanted to focus the budget on a few items. So let's say you have some items that maybe you want to push, you really think they have value. Maybe you could set a budget and point to those listings on a campaign like this, regardless of the size of your store. But as you see, guys, anyone who spends $170 to make 0 in sales, well, you're losing money. And so I am losing money, and I may not even go. I have this set from the 18th of October. So we have a full solid month of activity on this right now. I haven't sold a single one with this campaign, and I may not even let it go beyond this month, let alone this year. So that's what that is. Priority promoted listings, guys, can be a waste of money. And you see that I've spent $170 for what? For what? And I may allow this thing to run through this weekend while I'm gone. When I come back, I'm probably going to just cut it off. It's not worth it to me. Would it work differently if I can get in there and control it manually and maybe adjust the keywords? Well, I'm getting a lot of impressions. You saw that. I'm getting a lot of impressions. I'm getting decent clicks. I mean, anytime I can get almost 100 clicks into a listing and people aren't buying, well, that may be a problem with my listing, right? Maybe the prices aren't where they want to be. Because a lot of these parts, the way I have it is I have these parts priced based on comps for each of the parts. And maybe I just need to lower the prices a little bit. And maybe I don't need a campaign. And maybe this is all a virtual waste of my time by even jumping into what eBay offered me, which is a 75% off promotion, because I'm still paying a full 25% and I'm not seeing a return. It's very, very concerning. Have you guys used this? Who's out there has used this? And what have your returns been? In my opinion, you should be getting at least a 3x return on any fees spent versus sales made, right? So $100, I better not be spending more than $33. That's kind of in my mind. And that's even kind of high as far as I'm concerned. You want a higher return than that. A negative return, it's like, this ain't working and it's time to do something different. Cut it off completely. I don't care if eBay's footing most of the bill. It's not a good business decision. Now, had I not had a YouTube channel, I probably would have ignored this, but I really thought it would make good content when I did this a month ago to show you guys what these campaigns look like. This falls under what Ebert said was, in my opinion, would be empty impressions. These are impressions that lead to clicks but no sales. And ultimately, it's telling eBay that these listings suck. And I don't want that. I want people to find, when someone's ready to buy a part for their item or their fan or their coffee maker, I want this to be prominent in search. And spending a lot of ad fees on an item that's not making sales is telling eBay quite the opposite. And I'm only hurting myself by allowing these campaigns to continue. So I think beyond this weekend, I don't care. I'm shutting this off for this store. So hopefully we have the usual folks with us, the usual folks, the members. We do put out content for the members. So thank you if you're a member. I know there's been a lot of gifted memberships from like Keith and some others. So thank you guys for doing that for the other viewers. If you are a member, you'll have a green, your name will be in green. That means you're a member, and go and check out the videos that I've posted for members. Like to think that it does bring a little value for the $2.99 we charge for the month, which is really not a whole lot. But again, I want to thank you guys for being a member, and I'd like to really, if you guys want to be a part of some of these member lives that we do, where we go in and start looking at other stores, not necessarily any of our stores, but other seller stores, to talk about what they're doing great and what they're not doing so great, things that we can all learn from. Then you should become a member. I think if you're on the app, it's like on the bottom right, click on it, and you can sign up. Or if you're currently a member and you want to continue, just make sure that you go in and click on that yourself, because gift memberships only last for 30 days and then they drop off. Well, also, guys, do me a favor. If you want to help support the channel, you don't really want to do the membership thing, that's cool too. Check out the links down below. If you want cross-listing, we support I can't even think today. For cross-listing, we support TreeCat, and they are really working hard behind the scenes to bring extra features to their platform. And it's a kind of a pay-as-you-go kind of thing. Instead of paying a set amount every month, whether or not you're making sales, you are paying as you go, and you can utilize all the features such as delist, relist, delisting when you make a sale on another platform, so you're not double selling, the Poshmark sharing tool if you sell on Poshmark. So give them a look. Also, we just gave away a thermal printer to Busy Girl, and from what I understand, they did mail it out to her the other day. So Busy Girl should be getting to you here pretty soon. But we get giveaways all the time. So support the sponsors down below. Also, GyroPack if you need bubble mailers or poly mailers, and American Bubble Boy if you want to get your bubble wrap on. So that's a shout out to the sponsors. Want to thank each and every one of you for being here. We will be here on Monday, so don't miss Monday's live, 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Central. And thank you guys for being here. We made it for the premiere, the chat part of it. And if you just didn't make it, well, please comment down below. Consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't. If this content helps you in any way, if it's something you enjoy listening to while you work, why not subscribe and hit that notification bell so you can be notified? Because beyond Mondays and Fridays, where we have a set schedule on the lives, we can come out with a video anytime, and a lot of it's kind of up-to-date information. And as resellers, we want to be kept up to date as much as possible. So by hitting that notification bell, that allows you to be kept in the loop. So guys, want to thank you for being here. Have an excellent rest of your evening. Have an excellent weekend, and we will talk to you guys here. Oh, priority. Let me just do my ending here. Priority promoted listings. It's not for everyone. It's probably only for people with bigger stores, or if you have a lot of multi-quantity stuff. But figuring that out for yourself and how it helps your business, whether you should even use it or not, is yet another example of how flipping ain't easy. Have an excellent weekend. We will talk to you guys here very, very soon, more than likely on Monday. But if I don't hear back from me over the weekend, it will be on Monday. And take care, everyone.